Welcome to World in Depth. In today's episode, we'll uncover the intricate world of organized crime in London where once powerful British bosses have been replaced by ruthless immigrant gangs, shifting the city's criminal landscape. Join us as we examine how fortunes were made and lost, and the dramatic changes that have occurred over the years. According to a report by the NCA, the UK's National Crime Agency, there are over 4,600 criminal groups in the country, comprising tens of thousands of members, and their numbers keep growing. In London alone, there are around 250 gangs, and the city is often referred to as Europe's capital of organized crime. In today's piece, we will focus on the English capital, which is overrun by street gangs led by powerful bosses all. Until the early 21st century, London was ruled by influential British gangsters. Nowadays, the city is dominated by immigrants who are far more ruthless in their methods. Their criminal groups deal in car theft, robberies, and extortion. However, without a doubt, the most profitable business for them is drug trafficking. Before these newcomers took over London, the city had seen many British criminals amass huge fortunes, though today they no longer wield any power. One such figure is Terry, linked to 25 murders, who together with his brothers formed the Clockenwell Gang, also known as the Addams Family or the A-Team. We will discuss this in future episodes. According to investigators, this group was even more brutal than the infamous Kray Brothers organization, about which we made a separate film. At the height of their power, the Addams family owned assets, valued at around £200 million. And Terry himself lived 4 years in a villa worth over £1.5 million. However, starting in the early 2000s, he regularly appeared in court, and the authorities gradually stripped him of his wealth. Today, Terry Addams and his partner live in a housing association flat. His most recent sentence was handed down in 2019, when he was given a 1-year prison term because, as the court determined, he was too poor to pay the fines imposed on him. Yet just a few hours after the court's decision, Addams paid £50,000 and avoided going to jail. Other former London bosses like Addams are serving long sentences or have retired from crime, focusing on legal businesses. There are also those who have completely changed their lives. The best example of such a story is the boss of the Chaps gang, who began his education behind bars and has been involved in rehabilitating offenders for years, encouraging them to leave the criminal path as he did. He is also the author of 2 books and takes part in TV programs and interviews that garner millions of views. In 2011, he was even honored by Queen Elizabeth II with the Order of the British Empire for his work. Today's London looks entirely different from the era of British bosses. Police statistics show that nearly every London borough now has one or several gangs, whose members are immigrants or descendants of immigrants from the Balkans, Africa, or the Middle East, engaged in clashes with one another. They regularly resort to dangerous weapons on the streets of British cities. There are frequent knife fights involving whole groups. Just like in Sweden, youth crime is also a serious problem in the UK. Teenage boys work for older criminals, dealing drugs, stealing cars, and committing robberies on their behalf. They also take part in gang conflicts, where they both take lives and lose their own. In 2021 alone, more than 30 teenagers were killed on London's streets. Police officers are often victims of violent acts too. They do not normally carry firearms. They are equipped only with pepper spray or tasers, and wear special vests to protect themselves from knife attacks. Only specialized units carry guns. An Albanian criminal group specializing in cocaine trafficking is earning huge profits thanks to the Albanian mafia, which, through cooperation with the 'Ndrangheta, supplies them with high-quality drugs at low prices. Its members also exemplify the phenomenon of gangfluencers, known from Sweden. This term refers to criminals who promote a life of crime on social media and through music. Like their Swedish counterparts, London gangs release songs online in which they pose with weapons and wads of cash, and their videos attract millions of views. This is an excellent way to reach new customers for the substances they distribute, as well as an opportunity to draw young people into illegal activities by making them want to imitate the rappers, until the platforms decided to remove their accounts. Members of this group ran their own profiles on Facebook and Instagram. Later, a photo of one gang member from prison surfaced online with a caption along the lines of, "Even behind bars, we have everything we need. The only thing missing is prostitutes." There are many similar cases where young gangsters promote their criminal lifestyle online. Conflicts between rappers who attack each other in their songs often spill onto the streets and end in tragedy. The Mali Boys, gang made up of several dozen Somalis, operates differently from the gangfluencers. This group, which also makes money from selling illegal substances, is considered the most brutal in the UK. The Mali Boys avoid social media and flashy cars to stay under the radar. Nevertheless, a few of them are involved in making music. The gang, which has claimed numerous lives, recruits boys as young as 10, among other things. These children are tasked with noting down the license plate numbers of police officers' private cars so that the gang can later intimidate them. In June this year, the leader of the Mali Boys, 25-year-old Hamza Erhak, was sentenced to life imprisonment for his role in 2 executions. For over a decade, immigrants have been at the top of London's drug trade. Fortunately, law enforcement is increasingly successful in catching them and putting them behind bars for many years. In 2011, Mehmed Bypassen, a gangster of Turkish origin, was sentenced to 30 years in prison for attempting to smuggle 40 tons of cocaine in 2021. Albanian Mohammed Jassi, considered a key figure in London's drug trade, received a 10-year sentence. He was caught with illegal substances worth over £1 million. In recent years, law enforcement agencies have carried out many successful operations thanks to cracking the encrypted messaging service. Breaking its encryption sent shockwaves through the criminal underworld, not just in the UK but throughout Europe. In the first half of 2020 alone, nearly 200 criminals were caught in London, including key figures in the drug market. Authorities also seized several £million in cash and over 600 kilograms of Class A drugs. That, however, was only the beginning. Currently, the number of arrests is in the thousands and is constantly growing. In the UK alone, around 10,000 users had been relying on encryption when looking at organized crime. It is easy to notice the changes that have taken place over 2 decades in countries like Germany, Sweden, and the UK. Just 15 years ago, these nations were regarded as friendly and safe. However, statistics are unforgiving, and today the streets of cities in these countries have become crime hotspots, with residents fearing for their lives and property on a daily basis. In the last few years, there has been a radical shift in how the native citizens of these countries view their government's immigration policies. Despite the strong political correctness prevailing in these nations, alarm bells are now being rung more frequently, not just by ordinary citizens, but also by the police and some politicians who desire change in their homelands. Thank you for watching this episode on World in Depth. If you found it valuable, please leave a like. Subscribe to our channel for more deep dive content. Share it with your friends, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next episode.